so many shows, so many shows.com, so many mashups. This is Mike and this is Pete. Real quick, we've been posting our stuff on YouTube recently, going through some maintenance on the website. So we'll be getting back to our normal festivities as soon as possible. But as of right now, you can find us on YouTube or So Many Shows YouTube. I think that's the title. Mike, say hello and talk about the YouTube So Many Shows.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Good to see you again or talk to you again. Yes, the So Many Shows channel, follow it, like, subscribe, push the little notification button so you get notified when there's a new podcast drop because we've been doing Fallout, we've been doing NFL, we've been doing Shifting Gears, we've been doing Abbott. So that way, when I drop them, you can figure out when they are alive.
Yeah, we were discussing making a move to YouTube for some live events possibly in the future. So we figured in the meantime, while we're doing maintenance on the site, this would be a good opportunity to test the waters. So here we are. This is NFL Playoff Wildcard Coaching Carousel Mashup. Mike and Pete. So many shows, so many shows.com, so many mashups. Let's get it. First, I'll start off with, did you watch any of the college football playoff?
No, I haven't.
The games were on Thursday and Friday at 7:30. So I'm guessing you did not watch them. So for those who did watch them, the 10th seed, there's 12 seeds in the college football playoff this year.
Okay.
The 10th seed, Miami Hurricanes, are now going to the national title to face the number 1 seed, Indiana Hoosiers, who are undefeated this season.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So that's an interesting thing. That finals is January 19th. So I look forward to watching that. NFL playoffs. So we are halfway through the NFL playoffs for the week 1 while we record this. The current score is like 13-6 or something like that, or 12, whatever it was, like 13-7.
13-7, yes.
Yeah, 13-7 Philadelphia, in case you're trying to figure out where we're at in our time-wise when we recorded this. We did watch the games that went on yesterday and the first game today, so we could talk about that a little bit and, break down some coaching stuff. So we'll go right to yesterday's games. Rams and Panthers. I think it was closer than we all thought, better than we all thought.
Yes, definitely.
I had a feeling during the game, which was interesting. I said, it's cool to see like the Panthers, maybe steal one from the Rams and beat them and shock the world and upset them, quick first round upset, whatever the case may be.
Yep.
But that would have made next round's games so much more boring because the Rams Seahawks, next game seems so much more, if that's the way it plays out, seems so much more entertaining to me to see the Rams versus Seahawks in the next round than like the Panthers versus anybody.
Yes.
So I felt like that was interesting. And that's what would have happened because in our second game, the Bears beat the Packers. And I find it interesting because the Bears came back in that game.
Yep.
And the Bears came back in the Week 16 game in the regular season. They were down, and they had to come back and hit an onside kick and everything else to come back and win that game. So technically, if you want my opinion, the Packers have outplayed the Bears 3 times, but only have 1 win to show for it and are now out of the playoffs. So before we go backwards on this, because I just want to ask you one question, yes or no answer. Do you think LaFleur gets fired?
There's been rumblings. I want to say no because he's gotten the Packers to the playoffs multiple years in a 7-year tenure there. But with all the rumblings, I gotta lean towards yes. I mean, there's been so many firings already, and there's some premier head coaches that are out there and available.
We'll get to this, and this is a little tease, a little spoiler for the coaches segment.
Yep.
I believe, personally, my prediction, I'll say it now, and we'll get back to it later, that Harbaugh is going to be the Green Bay Packers head coach next year.
Okay.
Now, I think that we learned one thing. When there's rumblings, they normally have a lot of heat to it.
Yeah.
Because they said if Harbaugh or Tomlin lose, they get fired, and Harbaugh lost and got fired.
Yes.
They said if LaFleur can't beat the Bears and make a real run at this playoffs, he might be gone too. Don't tell me you were just missing Micah Parsons because when the season started, you were one of the Super Bowl favorites and you didn't have Micah Parsons.
Yes, exactly.
So your team was there. You had your team. Jordan Love played. Your quarterback played. You might have had that game won the whole time, and the Bears might have stolen from you at the end, but you still lost the game. You still got the game stolen from you, and Jordan Love didn't win the big game. Because in the game we just watched earlier today, Josh Allen won the big game.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
We'll get to
great comeback, or not really comeback, but yeah, great Bills-Jags game.
Listen, it's been a very, I would say, good first 3 games so far.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, all the 3 games have been really going right to the wire. So yeah,
even the game now is, back and forth, San Francisco, Philly. It's absolute cinema. So this is good stuff. So yeah, the Rams. Did you notice anything about the Rams Panthers game that you wanted to discuss going forward? They thought might be a problem, might be an issue. You noticed that Stafford seemed to be favoring. I think it was his hand or something. He had something going on.
Yeah, I was going to mention that the fact that he took a shot to his hand when he was throwing the ball at one point, and I think I saw a stat that they showed in the second half was his completion percentage
After the
before
hand got hit,
and after it was like at that point it was like 2 for 10, 2 for 11
you
after
know,
his hand was hit. So yeah.
and I saw the same thing with Josh Allen in the game against Jacksonville. And like I was telling my nephews when I was watching the games with them, today don't matter. Like, so for Stafford, that injury did not matter yesterday. He was going to play
Mhm.
ball and he was going to let it rip because his adrenaline's going, your blood's pumping. This is it. Boom, you're moving. Josh Allen, same thing today. Justin Herbert, every week. The problem's going to be when they go home today and those hands start to heal.
Yep.
And as they slowly heal, they swell up and they cause all these kind of problems. And then you can't practice all week, or possibly it's so tender that by the time it actually feels good, it's a week later. And now you're in the
Yep.
freezing cold playing the next week. So I will say, let's keep an eye to some of these aging quarterbacks. I'm not saying they're old, but they're older. They're not
Yeah.
exactly, rookies and rookie contracted quarterbacks. With these hand injuries, that becomes very important when you're doing, like, you look at, there's a game tonight that we could actually break down a little bit real quick. The Patriots and Chargers. Now, I feel like the Patriots have been a dominant team all season. The Chargers have been a flop. However, the spread's only like 3 or 3.5, New England.
Yeah. Yep.
And if you look at it, Justin Herbert, his non-throwing hand has been broken for like 5 weeks already, and he's been playing with it. But if you know what goes on, they can't do certain play action plays to like the left side.
Oh, yep.
It's
Yeah.
something weird. Don't quote me on that, but there's like a weird stat, like he can't turn a certain way with that hand because it would put too much pressure with the ball, and whatever the case may be. The point is that eventually that might come back to haunt them, and it might come back tonight to haunt them when you have someone like Drabel who knows what he's doing and can maneuver the defense to say, hey, we don't got to worry about this one spot. Now we're going to secure every other spot's a little bit better.
Yes.
Plus, the
Yeah.
Chargers are known for blowing it at the end.
Yeah.
I will say, I've been saying, if there's two teams, one in the AFC, one in the NFC, that will both pretenders they don't belong to be in the fucking playoffs, it's the Bears and the Jaguars, and I stick to that because the Bears should have lost yesterday and the Jaguars lost today.
Yes.
So you could go 13 wins all you want in the regular season. It's problems. Just like I said, don't be surprised if the Steelers beat the Texans tomorrow.
Yeah. Speaking of that, what are your thoughts on the wild card weekend Monday night football games?
So me personally, I hate it because I'd rather have a one. I'm working for half the game, so I can't even watch half the game because I'm at work. However, how do you not just give me a 1 o'clock, a 4 o'clock, and 8 o'clock on Saturday, a 1 o'clock, a 4 o'clock, and 8 o'clock on Sunday, and call it a day if you can do 6 games, right? That's what
Yes.
it is. It's like 6 games.
Yep. 6 games total for
Yeah,
wild
so
card.
so just give me 3 games, you know what I'm saying? 3 games each day, and then just fill up my whole weekend and let me just plan my whole weekend around that. I understand that normal people work 9 to 5, so they can stay home and they can watch it. But how many people, including yourself, who's going to be up early for work the next morning, is going to make it up for the whole game?
Yeah, that's why I'm in the same boat as you. I loved it when they had the 6 games on Saturday, Sunday. I think they changed the format to have a Monday night game like 3, 4
Now, if
seasons
it was
back.
the Vikings, I'm sure you would stay up and make an exception for the Monday night playoff game, but you're
Yeah.
not going to do it for a Steelers Texans game.
No, unfortunately, but that's also the downside. I love NFL playoff football. I love it, and because I can't stay up and watch a game that I could care less about, well, I mean, it's not that I don't care about it, but at the same time, it's not a team I, root for. It's not my home team, so it's like I'm not going to stay up and watch it when I got to be up at 5 o'clock the next morning. So that's a
That's what I'm
downside
saying.
for me. I'd rather get the games done Saturday, Sunday, get them done, and then that also leaves more time for the teams to prepare for next week's game. You
Well,
got
that's what they were saying, that if the Steelers win, they don't play again until Sunday, but if the Texans win, they have to play again the next Saturday. Something weird like that, or depending on who wins. So now
yeah.
you're putting people in different positions. Like I said, it is what it is. They want to market it that way, they can market it that way.
I know, but when's there going to be a Thursday night wild card weekend matchup?
Soon enough.
I
Soon
know that's good.
enough.
I see that coming at least 2 or 3 seasons down the road
The
within the
question
next
is, do
two
you
or three
take out the
seasons.
Saturday 4 o'clock game, the Sunday 1 o'clock game, or do you add a whole nother game and add two more teams to the playoff?
I say you take the noon Sunday. That's what I think. They'd take the noon Sunday game and move it to Thursday night.
What my opinion is? You do top 8 teams make the playoffs in each conference. You seed them 1 through 8 based on their conference record,
Hmm.
and that's it. One plays 8, two plays 7, three plays 6, four
Yeah,
plays 5. You have 8 games week one. Then you could do your Thursday too.
yeah. There you go. No bye
You could
weeks.
you could really have it good. You could really kill it. You could could do because like what does it matter for the bye week? Like Denver's on a bye week, so we don't get to watch them this week. Like I don't know. These in the modern day football bye weeks don't really mean anything. It's like home field advantage at this point. I feel like doesn't really mean much.
Yeah.
If you're
Well,
going to a freezing cold stadium and they take off the heater, maybe.
yep.
But I mean, come on.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the bye. Well, I don't mind the bye week, but like I said, I just give me the football on Saturday, Sunday. Enough with the Thursday or whatever. And there's no Thursday yet for
Are there
playoffs.
any definite games available for that we know of in the next round of the playoffs yet, or is it all still based on who wins these next couple games?
I think the
Who's
all the
playing next
matchups
week?
aren't figured out quite yet because it
Not
depends on
all
who
of them.
wins. Yeah, because either if the Niners win, they go to play Seattle, and if the Eagles win, they go play the Bears, I believe.
Yeah, okay, so we gotta wait. It's because the Patriots and the seedings, yeah.
Yeah, so Patriots have the number, what is the 2 seed?
Yeah.
Patriots have the 2 seed. So none of the matchups for next weekend are
Okay, so we're not there yet, people.
there yet.
Let's get into our coaching carousel real quick.
Yeah, because that could take 5 hours.
Well, no, I'm gonna just go quickly and just
Yep.
kind of say what's going on. So the Raiders have an opening. They're a tempting place to go to because they have the number one pick in the draft, and they're probably gonna get Mendoza from Indiana, who's been called by Pat McAfee a generational talent.
Oh, okay.
The overall number one by far. They're saying this guy's a Sunday player. So that makes the Raiders a tempting position, but you still have to build the rest of that team. So
Yeah.
you'll get a lot of draft picks. The Titans are open again. They'll be lucky to get somebody. Actually, you know who'd be a really good fit in Tennessee would be Raheem Morris from Atlanta. I feel like he could turn that team around in a second because he's going
Hmm.
to give them decisions. The Cardinals, they're going to be moving on from Kyler Murray, it appears, and they said that Jacoby Brissett is the number one talent, but they also have a high pick in the draft too,
Oh,
so they can be looking for a QB. However, there's not much QBs in the draft from what I understand. It's Dante Moore and Mendoza, and Moore had a terrible game recently, and some scout just slapped a fourth ground rate on him when he was the number two overall pick going to the Jets
oh wow.
just 4 days ago.
Jeez.
The Miami Dolphins are the most interesting because they said that when Harbaugh got fired, they had made an announcement. One of the reporters said that there was like 7 job openings, including Baltimore, and there was 7 teams that reached out to Harbaugh for interviews.
Yep.
So there's a team that had a coach that reached out to Harbaugh. Now I looked at my buddy at work and was like, "It's got to be Miami, right?" And he agreed it was Miami.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know. I don't know if you thought who you thought it was, but then like 2 days later, Miami released McDaniel.
Or it could have been the Packers, like you were saying. Harbaugh might be the next Green Bay Packers head coach if they do fire
Yeah,
Matt
they could have
LaFleur.
reached out and said, listen, after the season, if you're interested, we're gonna get rid of the floor and do this, blah 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 blah. But I feel like the Dolphins probably, in my opinion, this is just opinion by me,
Yeah.
not reported by nobody but me. I reported this by myself because I made it up, just so
Yes.
you know, it's fantasy booking. But I pretty much in my mind, I'm like, okay, so what happened was they called Harbaugh's agent. Harbaugh said, I'm not talking to no team with a head coach, and they probably said, okay, let's just remove our head coach. Then that's the only chance we have to get Harbaugh because Harbaugh does have South Florida ties in Miami.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yes. Yeah, he has
Okay.
history, especially also with the University of Miami Hurricanes. He has history with. So
Oh, nice.
Harbaugh going to Miami, the Giants, or Green Bay would be my top 3 teams. And Green Bay's not even open as of right now, and might not ever be open. So
Yeah.
those are my predictions. The Falcons, they said, is probably one of the most enticing positions
Hmm.
because similar to the Giants, they have a lot of rookie talent or younger talent on that team.
Yep.
But I feel like the Falcons have more talent than the Giants do currently with, Penix, Cousins, Robinson, Pitts, if you get the work rate out of him,
Yeah.
Harbaugh loves his big tight ends.
Absolutely. Yep.
Your receivers, Drake London. I forgot the other guy over there. I'm just saying they have a pretty decent core, and you did tie for that is someone said that Harbaugh should go to Atlanta because that's the easiest road to a division title on a regular basis, and he's not wrong.
Yeah,
I mean, look
exactly.
who got there this year, Carolina, who lost their last game and needed Atlanta to win to get in. The
Yes.
Browns has a coaching pageantry like no other. Where if you can go to Cleveland and win, you'll be honored. I mean, they love Harbaugh in Cleveland because of ties in the past.
I
Not
don't see him
recently,
going I don't see him going to another divisional rival
yes.
type of thing, but yeah.
But you know what? Someone's got to go there, and you got Sanders and Flacco. I mean, but yeah, Cleveland and Baltimore. Baltimore Colts, Cleveland Browns. Remember the Cleveland Browns with the Cleveland?
Yeah.
Remember, the Cleveland Browns were the Cleveland Browns.
Yep.
And then they were the Baltimore Ravens.
Yep.
That team moved. So
Yes.
technically, the team that he was on coaching was technically the Cleveland Browns with a paint job.
Exactly.
So if they never, just put it this way, if the Cleveland Browns never moved and turned into the Baltimore Ravens, they would have had 18 10-win seasons with Harbaugh
Mhm.
as their coach.
Yeah.
Some
Crazy.
bullshit. Poor Cleveland. Now, don't worry, Cleveland. Jeff fans, we feel your pain.
Yes.
We feel the Cleveland pain. The Giants, which is, I feel like is a really good spot for Harbaugh. He can go in there, work the New York media. However, they nail you with the money and the taxes and everything else, and they blame you for everything. And would you really want to fucking coach in New York for the Jets or Giants at this point?
Probably not.
And the Ravens. The Ravens are now open, and I wanted to get here last on purpose because there was a conversation that said that sometimes, when you want to separate, pick a better coach or have a better result from your coach, and sometimes you just need like a different situation.
Yep.
So because the theory is, and I've been watching a lot of news outlets about this sports news, you're not going to get a better coach than Harbaugh in Baltimore.
No, I don't think so.
You're not going to get a Ben Johnson to come in and go crazy. There's nobody out there like that. The guy out there like that is Harbaugh.
Or if LaFleur becomes opening, but yes.
Well, that's what I was just about to get to.
Oh, sorry.
That bounced off the Eagles guy's head. Yeah, no, I'm watching the game. Yeah. So no, but it's not jumping on my head because, like I said, I could see an interesting swap if the Green Bay Packers let LaFleur go and then Harbaugh signs with Green Bay and then the Ravens sign LaFleur.
Yep.
Because, the Ravens are probably also another team that is very put together already.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the coaching, if you go through the coaching carousel, who's really out there? I mean, and Mike McCarthy, I could see also has a Ravens candidate because he comes established also.
Established, but I know he kind of probably had his hands tied in Dallas, but Dallas didn't work out that great for him. But yeah, McCarthy could be a good fit.
Well, who's your top three coaching or 4 or 5 top 5 coaching out there, the coaches out there that are available, or coordinators?
Oh boy. Well, obviously Harbaugh is at the top of the list. After that, it'd be Stefanski as of right now.
You really like Stefanski? Where do you think he goes?
If I was Stefanski, I'd probably look at the Atlanta Falcons. Their offense is built up. They've had decent defenses, so I'd probably, if Stefanski was willing, it'd probably be Atlanta number 1. Maybe the Titans 2 because they got Cam Ward as a young quarterback. I could
see him in Miami.
Miami would be good too. I mean, they got.
Let him go. They'll get rid of Tua. Get a new quarter. No, they'll get a new quarterback in. Tua is done.
Yes,
Tua is done.
That's why I'd lean towards Atlanta. You have an established young quarterback in Penix. Yes, he has injuries prone, but you have Kirk Cousins as a backup, or you can bring another veteran backup that can work the offense in the pistol formation, or it might be a totally different offensive.
You wonder scheme. Who they want. You know what I'm saying? Like you wonder, obviously everybody wants Harbaugh, right? But after Harbaugh, you wonder, does Atlanta want Stefanski? Is he number 2 on their list, or is he number 5 on their list? You know?
So my top three,
Joseph up there. I don't know.
Yeah. So my top 3 would be obviously Harbaugh, Stefanski, and oh man, there's who'd be my third? Probably Raheem Morris as a third option. I mean, I think he did pretty well in Atlanta. He just didn't get help one way or another. It just didn't work.
So
out.
we're gonna wrap this up. I just wanted to bring up a point because this is from last week, and I told you I wanted to hold it for this week. Brian Flores.
Yes.
Okay, so now you know that he was in trouble by the league and investigated. There's a whole charge for tampering and flopping and all that, right?
Yes. Actually, I think there's 2 lawsuits pending. Yep.
He also had one was like a reverse suit saying that the league was racist against him or something to do with his players or something going on.
Yes.
There was some red tape. So when you said that he could be on the coaching carousel, I said, is he even allowed to? But we'll get to that next week. What I meant was, with all the legal litigation, would he even be allowed to become a head coach for a team and have control of an organization like that again? Blah, 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 blah. I watched a sports show that broke it down for me, so I got the answer I was looking for, so I wanted to bring it on here.
Oh, okay, cool.
So each team has an attorney.
Yep.
and the team's attorney is different than the NFL's attorney.
Oh, okay.
So therefore, they said what would happen is if the Oakland Raiders wanted Brian Flores to be their head coach and agreed in principle, and the NFL came down with a cease and desist order saying that Brian Flores is under investigation and cannot blah 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 blah. Most likely, the owners, because of the way it's set up that they're like a private something, they can basically say no. This is our head coach. He's going to be the coach of our team, and he works for Al Davis, say, not Roger Goodell.
Yes.
And that's so he can technically coach because basically they said the league will just if you have enough money and you want to pay, you could just pay your lawyer and you can get the stuff to go away and have Brian just to get or if Gruden wanted to come back and coach.
Yes. Yeah.
You can do things because teams have some sort of setup. I forgot I don't know about the legal stuff. I just know that Flores can head coach most likely with no issues. I mean, there would still be litigation going on while he was coaching, so there'd still be distraction around him and rumblings around him and litigation around him and behind him.
Yep.
But he would be free to coach the team the way he needed to
Okay.
upon the owner's request. So that was what I got for that.
Nice. That's another name that's out there, but I also don't want him to leave as a defensive coordinator from the Vikings. That's why I threw out Raheem Morris as my third top
Now,
choice.
Todd Bowles didn't get fired, right? Or did he? No.
No, they I think they fired
They got rid of their
offensive
coordinator, their offense
Yeah.
coordinator. Supposedly they've had 5 different coordinators in 5 years. Poor
Yes.
Baker. But it's true. Somebody brought up a point that they don't even look like they're playing an offense at this point. They look like they were just playing street ball, running out there, throwing the ball in the air. And
Yep.
I mean, it worked for a while. They had a bunch of wins in the beginning, and it didn't work out at the end. But anything else before we go?
No, that was it on my list. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the last couple of games of this weekend and exciting to see what's going to be up for next weekend's matchups.
Well, one half of my Super Bowl teams is out, the Packers. The other half is still in, the Bills. Moving on to the next round. I kind of think that it's going to be the Eagles. I think that Rams and Seahawks are suitable opponents. The Bears I don't believe in, and I think the Eagles are just going to run through everybody. But you know what? Right now they're only up by 3 with a minute left in the half against San Francisco, so we'll see what happens. So many shows, so many shows.com, so many mashups. Find us in so many shows at YouTube temporarily or full time, but also go back to the site, check regularly. We should be back up as soon as possible. For Mike, for Pete, NFL, Wildcard Weekend. We'll catch you next week. Later.
Have a great week, everybody. Talk to you on the next one.
35 red, blue, say